I have to admit that there were points in time during this Missouri General Assembly special session that felt like an out-of-body experience or covering the legislature in another dimension. I've never seen a situation where members of the legislature make literally no changes to a high-stakes congressional map. I've never expected the legislature to take up and pass, after years of failure, arguably the most restrictive proposal ever against constitutional amendments put on the ballot by the initiative petition process. And I certainly never predicted that what was once a rare procedure to shut down filibusters in the Senate would be utilized just to pass the rules of the special session.
And they're cheating to cheat because their ideas suck. Their policies are terrible for everybody, and they want to hold on to power.
And I think what's most interesting about all of these broken norms and all of the changes we've seen in this process is the initiative petition measure and the redistricting map may never go into effect. After all, there are a number of organizations with access to money and manpower who have promised to defeat the initiative petition plan when it goes before voters in 2026. And a group called People Not Politicians announced right after the Senate passed a map aimed at ousting Democrat Emanuel Cleaver, they're going to try to get more than 100,000 signatures to put the map up for a statewide vote. And if they're successful at just getting the signatures, it's extremely doubtful the map we've spent so much time on over the last 2 weeks gets put into effect in time for the 2026 election cycle. I don't know if the past couple of weeks have changed norms and changed procedures and a different Senate will last into 2026. There's certainly an expectation that next year's session is going to be ugly and unproductive.
And I would hope that going forward, regardless of how this week goes, that any disagreements that we have in the Missouri Senate would be over policy and not personality. And while there may be a piece of legislation that's rather controversial that works its way through the process, let it come to a vote. Let those that have been elected by individuals across the state of Missouri vote on the legislation, and what happens, happens, and then let's move on to other pieces of legislation. Some of them may be bipartisan in nature.
Perhaps if it does permanently change, we'll all look back at this special session as a major turning point in Missouri legislative politics. Be sure to follow all of our coverage of the aftermath of the special session by going to stlpr.org.